I want to talk about your daughter, Halie,
Yeah.
that has autism. She is a lover. She's your sidekick. You and I, obviously, I do my very best, to pay it forward to autism. Um, just talk about Halie for a little bit and autism.
Yeah, and this really ties back into my racing too. I got married in 1996. Cora, my first daughter, was born in 1997. Halie was born in November of 1998. And I was in the middle of racing and all that. And I told this story the other night. There's a wonderful new um, autism service group in neighboring South Hill, about 35 miles. It's called the Bailey Center. And I hosted and emceed a gala a couple weeks ago, and I donated them $10,000 and this and that and the other and all that. But somebody
Good
asked
job.
me as I was speaking about Halie. I said, "When did you know?" So Halie, when she was born, you never really want to compare kids, but in a way, you compare kids.
You want to make sure
they
things are going all
they
right.
walked at this date. This one spoke at this date, and Cora, was very bright, smart, still is. Halie was tracking along pretty close to where Cora was, and then all of a sudden she regressed. And so Christmas morning, when Halie was 2 years old, we're all, as dads, we're proud to provide a wonderful Santa Claus for our kids. So when Halie's 2 years old, Cora comes in. Santa Claus has been, and there's stuff from one end of the house to the other, toys, Santa. Cora's going nuts. She's throwing paper everywhere, celebrating. Halie walks by out of her bedroom, looks at us, no
Oh,
emotion, kept walking, walked upstairs to the I used to have a gym weight room in my house above my garage. She goes upstairs to the bonus room, sits in the corner, facing the corner, and was just doing this, rocking,
oh, you knew it right then.
and just all that commotion in the den. And so that started the wheels turning for Angie and I, that we knew something was wrong. So it took us a while to get a diagnosis. Um, you know, and back in 1999 and 2000, the statistics said 1 in every 500 kids are diagnosed with autism. Now it's 1 in every 34. So that's how much has changed, in the last 23 years. But we went to get a diagnosis. I went through the emotions that you would normally associate with something like that happening to you. It goes from anger to sadness to frustration to all these things. But after we got past all that, we went immediately to work. What do we need to do for Halie to give her the best chance to be happy, healthy, and successful? And so I was still trying to work and race. My wife was driving Halie to Richmond from Emporia, 75 miles each way every day to the Face On School for Autism, where she was getting ABA therapies and treatments and all that. And ultimately, she transitioned back to the public school system here. But since that day, and still to this day, my wife is a wonderful outlet to parents and families of kids when they get diagnosed with autism, because my wife knows the law. She knows what the schools are supposed to provide or what they're obligated to provide. She knows how to do IEPs, which are individualized educational programs for special needs kids. So everybody around here, when they're getting ready to go to visit a school or a principal or school board or whatever, they call my wife, because Angie knows it all. And we had the ability, I had to hire an attorney to force the school systems to provide the appropriate resources for my daughter. And I didn't do it for my daughter. I did it so they would have to provide those services for all the special needs kids in the school system here in Greensville County, in the city of Emporia. And I say we, but mostly my wife. I put the money in, don't get me wrong, but my wife and the attorneys paved the way for every autistic little boy and little girl since 2000 and really 2001 are getting much better services and resources now than they were then because of what we went through with Halie.
there's a beautiful movie out. I just went and saw it a couple nights ago, Unbreakable Boy. His bones would break very easily, but he was he had autism at the same time. And he was able to make bullies feel better about themselves. I'm just saying that you and your wife are wonderful people. And, one thing that turned out really good when you and I worked for Fox is Artie Kempner, one of the most famous, directors in TV. His boy was, autistic.
Ethan, yeah.
Yeah, and you and I would go
every year, go play golf, support his tournament. And Artie and I had and still have a special bond, even though I haven't done TV since 2019. We share that bond. And Artie and I, one thing we do agree upon now that I was going to kind of finish the chapter talking about Halie, for all those years that I kept saying, why is this happening to Halie and why is this happening to us? It took me a few years, but now Halie is such a bright light for us. She loves everybody unconditionally. She doesn't see color or race or religion or politics. She loves and hugs on everybody. And I tell people, she's got special people. And we still to this day don't know why she does certain things. Like she gets attached to certain, employees that we have at whether it be Fosho or the oil company or restaurants or whatever. And, she gets attached to that person, has to talk to him every day and all that. But I look at it now, Kenny. She walks into mine and Angie's room every morning about 6:15 with a smile on her face and says, "What are we going to do today?" And I'm like,
she's ready to go.
Damn it! If she can be happy every morning with the challenges that she's having, even though I've got dishwashers broke and fuel pumps down and people calling out of work and all that, hell, I can get out of bed in the morning and be happy too and tackle my day. And she's really. I can sit here and tell you now, all these years later, she has taught me and my wife way more about life than we ever taught her, and she's a blessing to all of us.
That is fantastic.